Peaceful greetings. So, one of the things that I've been wanting to make a video about is that as a child, I'm almost 1000% sure that I was kidnapped as a child. I say this because I've actually had um, memories come into my mind about things when I was little that just still to this day didn't make sense. Like, I was, abused and neglected and all of those things growing up. Okay, I grew up in foster care and group homes and was one of the seven children taken away from Dolores, Diane, Dee Sunshine, Hartley, aka Barnes Smith. And so, with that being said, um, I'm quite sure that even though I was put into foster care from her, I'm quite sure she kidnapped me first. Okay? Because the simple fact is when certain people would come to the house, I was forced to go into the basement in the house that we lived in. And I would get so upset because, uh, a couple of times they would make it seem like I was in trouble for something. That's why I was getting sent to like a timeout in the basement. But other times there was nothing that they could say that I had done to have me go into the basement. And I would hear other people coming into the house. Okay, so that is reminiscent of them hiding me. So I'm going to make a shout out to Maury. Okay, because I need a DNA test to see if this woman, Dolores Diane, aka Dee Sunshine Hartley, if that is even my biological mom. Okay, because this woman has had it out for me my entire life. And although the original story of Snow White, it wasn't her wicked stepmother that actually had attempted to kill her and take her beauty and all of the other crazy stuff. It was her, biological mother in the original story. So I'm not going to say that a biological mother couldn't have, these ill intentions and ill wills towards their child or whatever. However, there's too many other things that just are red flags, like me running away as a toddler, asking when my parents were coming back or my mom was coming back, and then them telling me that they weren't coming back, and me saying that I was going to run away. Not only did I say that I was going to run away, I started getting my things together to run away. And they were like, oh, well, you can't take this and you can't take that and you can't take, that toy or that doll or whatever. And I was like, okay. I remember this as a toddler. Okay. I was like, okay. And I left. I put everything down and walked out by myself. And when I started walking and getting close to the street, because it was a large yard, or at least it looked really large, me being so small. So it could have been smaller than what I thought, obviously, because of the when you're smaller, things look larger because you're so tiny. So, anyways, I walked across that grass lawn all the way to the road, and that woman, allegedly my mother, ran to where I was at and grabbed me and snatched me up before I got to the road. Okay. But the point is that the conversation that was being had let me know that my real mom was not coming back. And so, anyways, I need a DNA test. She's done way too much. Like, who falsely accuses their own child, right, of double count murder, right? Who falsely accuses them out of evilness and vindictiveness. Listen, I would still be locked up today, if this woman's lies had not been caught. If I wasn't intelligent enough as a child to actually ask questions. And I guess I had made a video on TikTok about this, and people got so confused about what I was asking and the way I was asking the questions. However, I'm just going to say it like this. This woman, Sunshine, Dee Sunshine, aka Dolores Diane, that's where the Dee comes from. Dolores Diane actually, when I was 9 years old, had lied and stated that I had kicked her in the stomach in a fight and she was pregnant with twins. Now, the real is, yes, we did get in a fight, okay, because I was tired of her abuse. I was tired of the neglect, and then, having to be the mother, and then her come back and just beat us, right? Anyways, my older siblings were beat so horrifically bad that they were hospitalized, and they never came back to her after they got out of the hospital. So anyways, hi. So I got tired of being beat like an adult, and we were, as children, we were just taking the abuse, the beatings, right? She went after my brother one day, and I was like, no, you're not hitting us anymore. And I got fed up. 9 years old, I was like, you're not hitting us anymore. But there's a backstory to that, where her boyfriend at the time had threatened to kill all of us children and her in a one-room motel room. And so after that, I had enough, right? I had to stand up for my family. I'm doing a video right now. I'm like literally recording. So I was like, I am doing everything that a mother would do for her siblings. And a lot of the decisions that she had been making were putting us in worse off situations. There is a key factor that I really think is very suspicious too, that is highlighted in my child mind about when we had even moved to the alleged San Joaquin Valley from SoCal after the LA riots. And that is that I'm quite sure that at that point, if Dolores, Diane, Sunshine, Hartley, Smith, Barnes, whatever you want to call her, if she was my real mother, I feel like they put in a clone, like during the transition from the SoCal to the Central Valley, because yeah, it was a switch up. Something happened. It wasn't right about that. But anyways, my mom had there's so much. Okay, getting back to the main story, right, is that I need a DNA test, because I'm quite sure with all the stuff that has occurred that, yeah, it's not adding up. That can't be my real mom. And not only did she lie on me at 9 years old, right, saying, and I will admit, when I'm going to admit what I did, because I have no problem admitting what I've done. Okay? And so, yes, we fought. Yes, I kicked her in the stomach. But no, she was not pregnant. So that's where there's issues, because now you have to psychologically, think about, or emotionally think about, or intellectually think about, why would a mother lie on her child about killing 2 babies in her stomach and attempting to have this 9-year-old child tried as an adult so that they would literally have the rest of their life ruined? Are you serious? That's deep. That is deep. So you're so upset with your child that has defended their sibling. It was the first time it was my sibling that's 2 years younger than me. And yeah, once I made that vow to myself and my siblings, I was like, that's it. No more. You're not hitting us no more. So the thing is that I was already in juvenile hall for assault and battery. I was already serving the time for assault and battery, right? Okay. So on top of that, right, then you're going to add in this big lie, this confirmation. So I'm in the cell, right? This lady comes in after I just had a nightmare of fighting my mom. Okay? And I'm kicking and I'm hitting and I'm doing all this, and I kicked the wall so hard that I had woke myself up. That's how intense my dream was. That I was literally like my body was fighting in real life. Okay? So when I kicked the wall and woke myself up, TMI, I started my period for the first time. And when that happened, right as that's all this is happening, I'm waking myself up, I'm starting my period. This woman comes into the cell and she's like, this is really serious. I need you to get up. Well, I was already coming to a little bit. So I sat up and she's telling me, she's asking me, you know, about the fight. She said, did you kick your mom in the stomach? I said, yes. And in my mind, I'm not gonna lie, it flashed in my head the moment when I kicked her in the stomach. And the shit was actually kind of funny. Because if you remember when, or if you ever seen children that like jump back on the bed and they bounce up, they like, let's say this is them, and they jump down and they use the bed to like jump back on their feet. And then so I did that 3 times, and then I kicked her in the stomach, and we was in a 1-room hotel room. So when I kicked her in the stomach, there was only like this tiny little space in between the bed and the wall. So when I kicked her, she fell in there and her arms were up and her legs were up. And so it was funny. It was funny. So in my mind, I'm seeing this like funny little, little episode that happened or whatever. And it was playing in my mind when she asked me that. So I kind of like, I don't know if I chuckled in real life, but I was chuckling for sure in my head. And so she was like, because the visual is still funny today. If you could get the visual of what I'm talking about, yeah. So anyways, the point is that I didn't do it out of being a bully. I didn't do it out of, ill will and ill intention. I did it as a protector of my siblings. Okay. So, yeah, because I already knew the cycles and everything that she was going to do before she did it. And she was going into that she was going to out of my younger brother. Okay. So with that being said, this woman asked me that, and I was like, I told the truth. I said yes. And she told me that my mom was stating that she was pregnant with twins. And I told that lady straight up, it would have to be a miracle by God. At 9 years old, I'm saying this. It would have to be a miracle by God for her to be pregnant. I said, have her tested. Because even at 9 years old, which I don't know how many 9-year-olds know this, I knew that the hormones in the body would still be elevated, even if she had a miscarriage, for her to be tested. So it would prove whether she was even pregnant, because she had her tubes tied and burnt with a laser gun after she allegedly had my youngest sister. Sapphire, Candice Hartley Carter. Okay, so after she had her, she wasn't supposed to be able to have any more children after 7 children. I don't know how many of these children are actually hers. That's what I want to know. Because I feel like we all could have been kidnapped. House full of kidnapped children. I don't know. So the thing is that, you know, this woman has still to this day been making lies like this. It didn't stop. I have forgiven her. I have thought that we literally were making progress so that we could have a good, healthy mother-daughter relationship. But she just does what enough as she possibly can so that she can get in someone's good graces, and then she'll do the same stuff, the same things again and again. And that's why this last time, because I've helped her twice since I've been back in California. I actually moved states. People don't even know why I'm homeless. I literally moved states, left all of my private property that I had built, getting my whole life, all my artwork, all my books, all my everything. Nazi had everything brand new in the box, hadn't even been opened for his baby room. Okay? I left everything to help this woman, Dolores Diane Sunshine Hartley Smith Barnes. I left everything to help her fight her cancer and diabetes, to help her get healthy and beat cancer and diabetes. So a woman that I'm attempting to save her life, her and a few other family members, such as my sister Sapphire and some other ones, and crazy enough, my sister on my alleged father's side, right? Letitia Holt, Peyton, all of these people had their own different reasons, right, to attempt to have something against me when there was nothing to have against me. I have done everything that I possibly could as a sister, as a mother figure to my siblings, which I wasn't even the mother, and as a daughter. I went above and beyond. Okay? Especially with the type of abuse and craziness that I endured, and wash that as water under the bridge, and still came to help this woman that I hadn't lived with since I was 9 years old. Other than one time when I was in 10th grade, I lived with her because they didn't have no other group homes or foster homes to put me in. Because I lived in so many throughout the San Joaquin Valley, the Central Valley, the misnomered San Joaquin Valley, the Central Valley in California. So anyways, the point is that with all of that, I'm asking somebody, if anybody knows Maury, I need a DNA test. For real. Because this ain't cool. Because she's still lying to this day. The whole time that I was helping her, she was left everything to help her out, right? Help save her life. And guess what? The whole time she was trying to set me up in so many different ways, to get my son kidnapped through the child trafficking CPS, to have me homeless, to have, basically, she wanted my life in ruins. Okay? But I get to decide. Other people don't get to write my story. I get to write my story. You don't get to tell me who I am. You don't get to tell me what I do. No. I get to choose what I do. I get to choose what my life is going to be. And guess what? Every time that I actually had cut ties with this woman, and it made me feel some type of way before, right? Is that because I had that realization a long time ago that I was successful in life. You know, I beat 95% of the statistics against foster youth. Foster youth that have been through, you know, either lesser and some even greater, but the people that have been through what I've been through, most of them do not do, unfortunately, what I have done in turning my life into a successful one, as far as beating 95% of the statistics against foster youth and becoming successful, right? Successful in my definition of successful, living within my purpose. You know, I became an elite master fitness expert, and I got my first certification as a fitness trainer when I was 19 years old. And then I just kept getting more and more certifications. I have over 7 nationally accredited certifications. Go this way. I'm recording right now. I have 7 nationally accredited certifications. You only need 1 to train in a gym. Only 1. I have 7. I could train anywhere in the world with the credentials I have. I became a fine artist. I became an IWFL women's professional football player. I was going to do women's figure competitions, but I got in a car accident one month before my show. So anyways, I'm asking Maury or somebody, right, that has access to DNA tests. That's what I want, because this is outrageous what this woman has done. She has actually went around and slandered, defamed, and all kinds of stuff. My good character and my no name. And there are people that actually believe the lies of this woman. But if you knew her and you knew how we were raised, which a lot of this valley knows, the people that are from here and been here, a lot of them already know, because they witnessed some of this stuff that we went through. And you want to know something? It was crazy because, you know, as a child, I would attempt to, you know, I would attempt to get people to realize what we were going through. And if I would tell them the 100% truth, the severity of everything that was going on, right? Then people would think it was so extremely bad that it just couldn't be possibly true. It couldn't be true, right? So then I was like, I was intelligent as a child. I said, okay, I cannot tell these people how bad it really is. I'll just give them enough to be concerned about the situation, because if I tell them, then they're not going to believe this is how bad it really is. Okay, so I would give them enough to be concerned and get them to check into it. And when they did, and they would get there and they would see it was way worse, they would be like, oh my God, why didn't you tell me it was this bad? I was like, these motherfuckers didn't believe me when I was telling them how bad it was. The other ones, they would be different. So anyways, I was very angry as a child. Okay. And I was in that self-development aisle in the libraries, in the bookstores, before it was cool, when people would look at you like, ooh, she got something wrong with her. She got something wrong. Whoever went down that aisle in the bookstores, you had something wrong with you, and you was looked at in a bad way for being down that aisle. Now it's everybody's down that aisle. Everybody should be down the aisle. I won't say everybody, because I shouldn't speak in totalities. So I have been on this journey of self-inquiry, self-discovery, self-discipline. You can't be a fitness expert and not have some discipline, not only in your life, but bringing discipline to other people's lives so that they can live healthy lifestyles. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna end it there. Peace, love, and light. Everybody have a great Saturday. Okay, and link, send, I don't know what you want to do, but find Maury and tell him I need a DNA test. Peace.